Shout out to Remy, or shout out to you, bro, because you just got me thinking about this. He made a video while playing Super Smash Bros. Mix. That I put the link in the description box if you want to. If you want to see it. Anti-social media. There are a lot of people that are anti-social media. You know, and it's fine if you want to take breaks from social media and stuff like that, obviously. You know, because it's good to take breaks, in my opinion. Because if you don't take breaks, you're going to become cuckoo around here. You know? You could become something that you're not, probably, you know? It just depends if you're not in the right state of mind, or you're not meditating, or you're not taking care of yourself, you know, or you're not seeing the writing on the wall when it comes to certain things, you know, like when it comes to like certain games I've talked about on this channel, I really didn't have to talk about it, you know, because life is too short. But I talk about them because I want to get my opinion out there and throw my hat in the ring, even though I don't have to. There's so many times I could have thrown my hat into the conversation to anything, but I decided to just, no, I'm not going to. Because life is too short and I don't have to do that. But if it comes to something that I enjoy, like gaming or movies, or someone's trying to ruin it for a lot of people, then yes, I'm going to have to mention it. That's why I mention mixtape or games that or games that are trying to literally just stick up the middle finger to video gamers. We just want to play freaking video games, bro. You know? We're not trying to do like, we're not playing video games to be like, oh, this person's gay? Check. Oh, this person's, oh, there's a gay person in this thing? Check. You know, oh, there's a straight person? Check. Oh, there's lesbians here? Check. It's not a fucking checklist, bro. That's important than fucking gameplay and story. You know? Moving on. But people that hate social media and that are anti-social media is laughable, in my opinion. Because I've met people that are like, oh, I don't believe anything on social media. And that's fucking sad, bro. That's sad. It's funny, too, because the whole Michael Jackson situation, a lot of people are seeing that, and they're like, damn, man, we fucked up, and this guy is, like, basically a hero, you know, what people are talking about, you know? So, and it's funny, too, because when people say, oh, I don't listen to the internet, all of a sudden you hear that, what are those people going to think? I remember being in high school and some white bitch, because some of these teachers are not fucking worth a damn. Some of them are, I met good teachers. I met bad teachers also. But the bad teacher that I'm talking about, she's not worth a damn. I mean, for kind of, this is the same teacher that saw the movie Step Brother with Will Ferrell, and she's like, I was disgusted. Okay. I mean, hey, if it's not for you, it's not for you. That's fine. But if you're gonna act so religious, basically, it's just laughable. Even people that act religious, behind the scenes, you actually probably racist. Not all of you, but I'm saying that most likely some of you probably practice racism. Because you know how many times white people talk about like black people and Afro-Hispanic people behind our back? We talk about you guys too. You guys think that we don't talk about you? Of course we do. And you guys are acting like you guys don't talk about us behind our backs. That's bullshit. We all talk about each other behind our backs. Seriously. Even the world governments talk about everybody, about you and me behind our backs. So let's just get that shit out there. That might sound bad and rude, but that's what it is. And if you don't like that, then don't be on social media. Seriously. And I'm not anti-social media. I'm pro-social media. But also, you have to be careful what you see and on social media. I mean, for crying out loud, you know, I'm not going to get to that conversation of what happened to me like a few years ago, but because my family wanted to talk about it, my dad and shit like that, but I'm just like, I'm not going to hear it because I just don't care. Because if you don't say something, nothing's not going to change. You expect me to shut the fuck up, and then you're wondering why things don't change, you know? So, that's another factor right there. People that are anti-social media sometimes see your videos and want you to shut up. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. I'm not going to shut up because you don't like what I have to say. Or it's very controversial for you to look at me and be like, no, you can't say that in front of people. You can't say that in front of people. Why? because you don't want to bring the conversation and hurt fucking people. And you wonder why society is fucking soft, because you don't bring shit to the table that society needs to fucking think about. Seriously. But you don't want that to happen. You want everything to stick. You want everything to be the same and still complain that nothing fucking changes. Okay, then here's this on the table. Here's that on the table. No, I don't want to talk about that. That's too offensive. That's going after a group of people and shit like that. It's like, but it still needs to be on the table, doesn't it? Nothing doesn't move forward if we put something on the table that's very uncomfortable for everyone to fucking goddamn see what the fuck is going on. It's back in the day when some of us were called conspiracy theorists, when we're talking about the Epstein shit, reptilians and all that shit. But now we're not conspiracy theorists anymore. Seriously. I still want an apology, by the way. Shout out to Remy, because it's true. We talked about this a long time ago. Where's our apology? We still haven't had an apology. Where's our fucking apology? I mean, we don't need it, but goddamn, man, you guys need to fucking apologize to all those people that you thought that were crazy, that thought we were off our rocker, that we thought we took drugs and shit like that. Where's our fucking apology? Right? That's another story for another day. But social media has made... The thing is, the people that are anti-social media are the ones that want to kill social media, kill gaming, kill the art of movies. They want to kill stuff like that. That's the way I see it. Some people might disagree with me. That's fine. But when it comes to anti-social media sometimes, it's like, guys, remember, back in the day when YouTube was new and fresh, we didn't have none of this shit. We were just enjoying YouTube. We were just having fun watching YouTube videos. For crying out loud, the most innocent video of all time is a person trying to do Star Wars with what was it, some type of stick that he was using, and he falls and he fucks up. Back in the day, people bullied that guy. Now people don't bully him. People look at him as iconic. People love him now. You know, it just goes to show how much things have changed. And yes, he was bullied, and which was fucked up, but it wasn't to the extent that we could get now. You see. A lot of people died from just bullying and harassment. Remember that one time when that girl killed herself? You know, while she was getting bullied and they were still texting her and still ill-mailing her, while bullying her while she was dead? Yeah. A whole big thing happened with that. Remember that? That changed a lot in social media. But to be quite honest, I think that was all by design. Because there's no reason why shit like that goes worldwide and other shit does not. You know? It's like it was designed for it to be that way. Could have been a whole story made up and we don't even fucking know it or even question it. You see? It's the same thing with the whole submarine shit. Oh, those people died in the submarine trying to go to visit Titanic. Yeah, and you guys don't question the logic behind all of that bullshit, but you guys think it's real. That shit's not real. That shit was staged as fuck. You can tell it was staged by the person using the controller to use a sub. That shit was a stage, bro. That shit was a stage. They're trying to assault your intelligence, and all of you guys are like, oh, it's such a tragic story. They got you. They got you right there. They got you right there, motherfucker. They got you right there. And it's embarrassing sometimes. You guys act like you're smart, think you can tell what's fake or not, but once they show you that shit, automatically you think it's real. You don't see the forest from the fucking goddamn trees sometimes. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. But they do it on purpose. They do it on purpose. Just to fuck with you. Seriously. And this anti-social media stuff goes along with that shit. It does. Trust me, this is way deeper than any of us will think. It's always going to be way deeper than what any of us will think. Sometimes we're just scratching the surface and we're not going deep in. Sometimes we do. They want to bring that out to the public, but other people don't want to hear it. You just want to live the mundane life and be idiotic. They made a whole movie about that. Idiocy or some shit like that, which we're living in right now. Because a lot of people don't want to deal with it. Even though there's other people that are smart enough to know that this shit's bullshit, because people are waking up and realizing this is fucking crap. This is fucking crap. This is bullshit. You know, assaulting my intelligence. You know? This is why I say sometimes watch wrestling. If wrestling is insulting your intelligence, then guess what? The whole worldwide news, governments, and all that all over the world are insulting your intelligence. If WWE is not insulting your intelligence, then everything's literally what it was back in the 90s. Awesome, cool, epic, you know? But we don't have that, don't we? Because they want to insult your intelligence. All right? So, a lot of these anti-people that don't like social media, they just want it to die. And they want to have a smile on their face when it dies. But it's not going to die. That's why they get upset about it. But yet, it's funny too. They're anti-social media, but they still use social media on their phone. It doesn't matter if you have a flip phone. I've seen older people that have flip phones because they don't want to be on, because they don't know they don't know well, I'm using my phone right now. They don't know the screen of how to tap on the screen and stuff like that. They rather have just a regular flip phone that knows what to do and all that stuff. But even those type of phones you can go online with if you really know what you're doing. For crying out loud, I remember had a phone. It wasn't a flip phone, but it was just a standalone phone that had numbers on the pad. It's almost like a computer you take with you. Basically, it's like that. I mean, phones are like that anyways. But back in the day, before I even had a phone that's just a screen, I had a phone that just had a screen and numbers. Again, like a regular computer. It's just together, you know. And I'm just happy. I'm just going on social media, Facebook, posting pictures. Take pictures of me, take pictures of something that I like, and post them on social media. I did that on Facebook. Was it bullshit to get into? Yeah, of course it was. But I still went into it and still did it. You know, I could barely use Google. You know how you had to press on those little analog sticks that you had here on your phone just to move around to just press a picture or move around the picture screens and stuff like that. Yeah. You're old school if you remember that shit. You know, but it's just sad that the anti-social media stuff I'm not saying it's getting big or anything like that. It's just that it's still there to the point that the people that are talking about it, they're embarrassing themselves. They're embarrassing themselves. What are you trying to prove? What are you trying to do? Are you trying to do it on purpose just to get clout? Just to do something on the internet? Almost like, oh, I'm going to put some lies on the internet. Why? It's just fun. You know? Are you those type of people? Or do you really have an opinion and feel like, no, I don't like social media? Because there's a difference. There's differences. You know, there is a difference. But if you're going to hate social media and want it to die, or you want it to become quote-unquote woke bullshit, which I'm not even going to try to mention because I don't want to. I mean, I always hear this woke stuff every day, and I'm just like, it's not even woke, guys. It's not even that anymore. It's just anti-consumer. That's really it. It's anti-consumer. Look at these video game companies, bro. You know? Look at the video game industry. Look at the movie industry. It hasn't gone woke. It's going anti-consumer. It's gone woke. Anti-consumer. The hell's it? You guys don't even know the definition of woke. Seriously. And they did it on purpose because when people say, oh, I've seen the light, basically. I know what, I can see through the veil, basically. I can see through my third eye, basically. I've woken up, basically. They used that tactic a long time ago because they knew back in 2018 and 19 that people were going to wake up. So they used the word woke and put it for these freaking stupid agenda motherfucking people that feel like every time they see a woman with a Jessica Rabbit body, they get fucking offended about it. They can't see a model of a woman without getting offended about it. Oh, I'm not being represented. Of course, because no one doesn't want a Jabba the Hutt bitch on their bed, on the fucking screen, or play as a video game character. Are you stupid? Now, if it was a male character, that's different. But a female character, nah, bitch, I want a Jessica Rabbit body I want to play with. Seriously, give me some Neo Automata nice ass bullshit. Seriously. That's why in Marvel's Marvel Rivals, you have everyone freaking asses. Everyone's cheeks are freaking big, even including the males. So the ladies could be like, ooh, you know? Or gay people too, if they obviously too. But they're trying to get everybody with that game, and it worked. But these anti-people, these anti-consumers, are complaining that, oh, I'm not being represented because that body doesn't really fit with me. This is why I hate games. They're downgrading women. No, you downgrading women. Even women will look at a model like Jessica Rabbit or Neo Automata, or was it 2B, sorry, and they'll be like, oh shit, she's fucking hot. If I was gay, I'd do her. You know? But you guys don't want to hear that. Why? Because it ruins everything that you have in your freaking head. It ruins everything. It ruins everything. And plus, these people are robots, bro. These people are just he'll say, they'll say, and nothing's going to hold any ground at all by the next 2 or 3 years. Seriously. They don't hold weight now, and they still don't hold weight. Which is why a lot of people went after mixtape. Alright? Seriously. And already I'm seeing clips of this game of one of the characters disowning her father, and she's like, oh, I'm gonna burn everything to the fucking ground if I'm grounded. If I talk to my parents like that, they will smack the shit off of me. The fuck's wrong with you? See, this is how you know it was made by people that don't know how to act like a fucking goddamn person, bro. You don't see that type of attitude in old RPGs when you play as a little kid and they try to find their parents, or maybe they disown their parents or something like that, but they don't talk to them like that way. You know, like, what the fuck's wrong with you guys? Seriously, what is this shit? You know? Seriously. But people don't want to talk about it, right? Of course you guys don't want to talk about it. You know? That's right there, anti-consumer. That game is most likely anti-consumer. From everything I've seen. Seriously. I mean, this is the same video game journalist industry that couldn't even pass a tutorial for Cuphead. So of course they're gonna praise that game that you can barely fucking goddamn play. Even Heavy Rain and Dispatch and what's the other game called? Detroit All Human. Even those games that I pointed out, even the Telltale games that I point out, those have more gameplay shit than mixtape. But people want to be like, oh, Telltale this, Telltale that, and all that. Why? Because it doesn't go with the alignment of their fucking agenda. Even though I still think to this day that those should have been movies. I'm sorry, they just should have been movies. If it walks like a duck, talks like a duck, speaks like a duck, then what it is, it's a duck. You know? But moving on with that. It's just something I have to mention because it's true. If you're going to make a video game that barely has any gameplay, then it's just a fucking goddamn animated movie, bro. You just use video game company to do it. Seriously, how come mixtape couldn't be part of Netflix? Because it would have been criticized because no one would have played it. Would have been criticized like crazy. No one's even playing that game at all. Seriously, no one's not playing that game. Even a game that just came out not that long ago, when this is how anti-social media these people are. They want to make a game that has a man, right? That cheats on his wife. His friend finds out. He kills his best friend. Goes to his wife His wife is like, no, fuck you, I've moved on. And then you realize she's with, she's a lesbian. She's with a black woman, basically. Who's this game for? What's this game for? Who's this game for? And yes, I double checked. It is 100% true. Even Google is like, yes, yeah, that's true. Who wants to play a game like that? That's so anti-consumer and so anti, social media. Because every time we play games, guys, we show it on social media to give our thoughts and our opinions out there, right? It's been like that since the beginning of gaming. Every time we play a video game, we want to get our thoughts out there, on some type of video that we probably made back in the 80s or 90s and stuff like that. Yeah, it probably wouldn't come out on the internet, but if you had some way to actually do it, once the internet became popular, then you could actually upload those type of videos. Some people figured out a way. When there's a will, there's a way. There's always been, when there's a will, there's always a way. You know? I've seen people, what is it? There's people out there that have, like, footage from the 80s and 90s, and they can upload that shit on YouTube just fine. You know? There's just so many stuff, because this anti-social media stuff is just... I'm not saying it has to stop, because obviously this shit's going to keep going, but it's going to die off. Just like the whole woke bullshit. Because I said it was going to die off, and it is dying off. It is. It's dying off. It's just that it's to the peak, to the point that it's scared to die off. That's why it's worried. That's why it's panicking. And that's why everyone can see through the bullshit. It's panicking. Alright? The whole anti-consumer shit is breaking down. It's cracking down. And the whole anti-social media stuff is breaking down and dying off. It is. Of course, you're going to have your bad eggs around there. But those bad eggs are not going to be listened to. It's going to be back how it was back in the 90s and 80s. Oh, look at this stupid motherfucker. This motherfucker's going to get arrested. Oh, look, they did. You know, it's like that. Seriously. You know? Yeah, that's just me. Because it comes to a point where some of these people should not be parents, should not have kids, and should not be associated with any other person. They should be locked up in a cave and never see nothing but light. Just give them food and water until they're croak. Seriously. Don't even give them food and water. They can find that shit themselves. Maybe they can just piss and shit and eat that. I don't give a shit. That's what I'm saying. These type of people right here, we can just not give a damn about them. Oh, but they're people too. Are they? Are they? Are they? Let's just throw them away, because, or just tell their parents that, yeah, your child, the way they are, you should have just got rid of them, because you should have just started over. Or maybe got an abortion or something. Because holy shit. Oh, how dare you say that? You see, this is what I'm talking about. Anti-social media. Because you're offended at what people have to say and you want to be uptight up your ass about it. Not that long ago, me and my friend were talking about that we're not going to censor ourselves. I'm like, yeah, no one's not going to stop me for saying retarded. You know? And he looked at me and he's like, well, yeah, I'm not going to stop saying shit like that either. Even the people, I even said this before on this channel, even people that are labeled retarded or not retarded, they're smart as fuck. They're smart as hell. Alright? You just never been not relabeled. I don't even want to say that, because that even sounds bad. But that label of retardedness to people needs to stop. They need to be not categorized. They need to be called, like, they're just regular people. They just have different type of mindset. It's like with autism. They just have a different mindset. Their brain is wired differently. Seriously. And some of these people can be great artists, great magicians, great freaking whatever. If they want to like make food or stuff like that, or create something like a beautiful painting, or even make architecture. You don't even know how they are, you know. But yeah, you don't even know how they are, man. You just want to label them to a point that they are handcuffed. All right, and they can't do anything. It's the same thing when I was in special ed classes. They handcuffed all of us, not literally, but they handcuffed us mentally, thinking that we can only do one thing and that's it. Welcome to the program of Holyoke schooling. That's another thing I want to talk about too. I need to make a whole video about the education system here in Holyoke. Not just American system in general, but here in Massachusetts. It is dog shit. Dog shit. They think they're doing better, but they're not. Even the teachers are complaining that they're not getting paid enough. There was a whole strike that just happened not that long ago. Right across from me, because the park is right there. I live right next to a freaking national park. Right across from me, they had a freaking protest over there. Because the teachers were not getting paid, and the school district is not giving them shit for the students or for them. So what they did, they went into a strike. I don't know if it worked or not. I didn't join that shit. You know why? Because I don't get up into rallies like that. All right? I think it's all by design. I think it's all by design. Not that long ago, I saw something on Facebook about the school program saying that, oh yeah, you know, the school program is even more worse than it was before, or something like that. And even I put in one of the comments saying that this has been happening since I was in high school. And then another thing came out on Facebook, literally saying that, oh, this has been happening around the 2010s, and I'm over here like, even when I was in school, this was still a problem, and it still is. Even before I went to school, this was a problem for my grandparents and my parents. You know? So it's just the reality of the situation. But no one doesn't want to talk about that. Because every time we want to talk about that stuff on social media, you get people that are anti-social media and don't want to talk about it because their feelings. My feelings have been hurt. Oh my God. You said retarded. You said dick. You said woman with big breasts and glasses. Oh my God, it hurts. I hate women with big titties. I wish everyone could just be flat and have nothing on them. No ass, no titties, just want them to be flat. Yes, that's what all women should be. Yes, no curves, nothing. They should just stick like that. Yes. I don't want to see a woman with a Wonder Woman body because that doesn't represent me. Have you noticed, like, you don't have any men talk this way? You have no men talk this way. No man is going to look at a freaking husky big dude, like Johnny Bravo, for example, and be like, oh, that's a misinterpretation of a man. I'm offended. No man is not going to say that. And if you are, you're a bitch. You're a bitch. And your father sort of smacked you straight in the face with a fucking goddamn ruler and a fucking belt. Seriously. Because that's how I was raised. I was raised with a freaking belt. What were you raised with? Huh? Seriously. Oh, we don't do that in our household. Yeah, and I wonder why your kids are so disrespectful to you. Seriously. Or you wonder why you're not close to your kids. Motherfucker, get a wheel. It doesn't fit. If you know that reference to George Lopez. It doesn't fit. Yo, man. Oh, but that's child abuse. No, it's discipline, motherfucker. Discipline. That's another thing that's gone with social media. No, anti-social media. Because when these anti-motherfuckers started noticing that some parents treated their kids fairly, with respect, with fun, with care, they didn't like that. They didn't like that. Alright? Seriously. But yeah, it's okay to have a whole bunch of kids kill their own parents. Were those kids disciplined? Did they get smacked in the face with a belt? No, they didn't. And I don't want to bring out the race type thing because we all know what it is. Seriously. Just look at the pattern. Who keeps being destructive? Just look at the pattern. Ain't no freaking Hispanic people and black people. I'm saying that right now. Alright? Go ahead and say that this is racist and shit like that. But it is confirmed, it is analyzed, it is documented. It is documented. And yet you guys still don't want to fucking believe it. And not everyone is the same, and that's fine. There's good parents out there. There's good people out there. But good heavens, man. Good fucking God, bro. When there's a pattern, you need to point out the pattern. And that's one thing that a lot of these people that hate social media don't want to point out. Because when you point out a pattern, they get offended about it. They don't want to acknowledge that pattern and acknowledge that shit needs to change. Alright? Because you don't want things to change. Oh, I want things to change, then start acting like it. Point out some of the uncomfortable stuff. Because that is how we change shit. We talk about the uncomfortable. Alright? Seriously. What do you think social media has become what it is? We talk about the uncomfortable shit. Alright? Social media didn't grow to what it is just because it decided to literally cut its balls off. You guys are high. You guys are high. You guys are fucking high. Shout out to Remy. Thank you for the inspiration for this video, bro. I'll shout out to you. Here's a little toast to you, brother. Seriously. Because this shit right here is ridiculous. Seriously. You got me? If you're watching this video, shout out too. I know you. Hey, if you don't, that's fine. You know, no one doesn't. You know, you don't have to watch all my videos. No. I have too many videos for that. I remember someone commented saying that they watched my videos. This was a long time ago, but someone told me that they watched all my videos, and I'm just like, and back then that was a lot. So imagine now if someone told me, yeah, I watched all your videos, I'll be like, jeez, even my enlightenment ones? They'd be like, what? Trust me, you probably don't want to see that. Maybe you do. If you want to know what's going on with the planet and shit like that. And no, I'm not trying to be racist or anything like that. Or if you hear stuff in that channel, it's just what it is. Facts are facts. You know, the data does not lie, you know? Seriously, the data does not lie. But, anything else I could talk about with this whole anti-social media shit? Anti-social media kills things a lot with video games and movies. We have talked about it a little bit here, but let me go a little bit more deep with it. For crying out loud, man. I'm not saying this is part of the anti-social media stuff, but when it comes to this movie, this movie didn't do nothing for me, but at least I got Yoshi out of it. At least I got Yoshi out of it. You know, I could put my snacks in here. You know, put a little bit of doobie in there. You know, probably could put my little beer in here. You know, hopefully it doesn't fall. I guess it will fall because the way it looks. Now I can't take it out. What have I done? Oh yeah, I definitely can't fit in there. Yeah, I definitely can't fit in there. But hey, I tried. But hey, maybe if I had like a little baggie and I had like an E&J or something like that with tequila, just put it in there, you know? So, again, this is worth it. But I'm talking about the movie. The movie itself, if you like it, you like it. That's fine. But the anti-social media stuff looked at this movie and they were all over it. You know, they were like, oh, you know, Mario doesn't need a story and shit like that. And I'm all like, the fuck you talking about, bro? In every game, Mario has a story. It might not be as Final Fantasy-ish or the Avengers type shit, but it still has a story, bro. And stick to that. Don't just don't throw the story away just because you want to cater to the minority of people that don't really fucking care at all. That's the one thing. To me, that's anti-social media, anti-consumer. That's just me. You can disagree with me with that. That's fine. That's fine. But it's just the way I saw it when that movie was coming out. I was just like, what's going on here, guys? You know, it's fine if you like it or not, you know. There's people that told me that they liked it, but some people did agree with me saying that, yeah, it should have just been a Super Smash Brothers movie. And that's fine, you know. Because I told my friend didn't finish the movie, but I told my other friend it just should have been a Super Smash Brothers movie. And he's like, I haven't finished the movie, so don't tell me. I'm like, no, that's the only thing that came out. Every time I saw it, well, there's more than I came out. Once my friend watches the movie, I go in depth with how I feel with it with him. But other than that, you know, it's just very, very strange how social media acted with this movie. And also with other stuff. I already mentioned the game already. I don't have to mention the name here before everyone starts screaming at me and being like, what was it that you said, Remy? Cacocot. These cacocots really don't know anything. All right, seriously, these cacocots, rather fight an alien being. And instead of being Vegeta and fucking his wife and making babies. Anyways. My final thoughts on everything of this is that anti-social media, it is a thing. And people want to destroy it. There's people out there that don't care or don't believe. Oh, I don't believe what I see on social media. Well, yeah, not all the time. Some of the stuff around here is fake and bullshit. Yeah, of course. But when you take yourself out of that completely, you're just going to be lost. Like, at least, have you read books about ancient past and history? Do you even try to look online to know how, like how the Mayans were, how the Egyptians were? And yes, you don't have to listen to everybody. You have to go more in depth with it yourself. You have to be your own little scholar and your own little teacher to do it yourself. That way you could bring out some of the stuff that's, that way you could bring out some of the stuff that people don't find out onto YouTube videos, you know? So there's that. But a lot of people don't like that. There's people that be like, no, you shouldn't tell the truth about how the pyramids were made, or you shouldn't tell the truth of how white society became a society, because that's too painful for us. Too painful for you? Oh, but it wasn't too painful for the rest of the people that you fucking slaughtered and killed and ate and raped. Go fuck yourself. Seriously. You know, that's what I'm saying. Like, what the fuck's wrong with you? This is what happens when it comes to social media. You bring out people that are like that. Because they don't want to hear shit. They're anti-social media. They're anti-social media. Because they know that when social media happened, things got out more and more and more and more and more and more and more. You couldn't hide shit anymore. This is why some people nowadays saying that, oh, you can't even smack a girl in the ass and flirt with her without someone across the street getting offended. I remember one time when I was in classes, this was when I was in high school, and one of the students complimented another student on her, you know, big tits, basically. And the teacher just got offended about it. Me, in my head, I'm just like, shut the fuck up, bitch. You just offended because you're an old fucking lady that everything's sagging on you. But we had to hear her bullshit speech saying, you can't say that in the workforce and shit. And I'm only here in my face, and I'm only here looking at her, I'm like, is she offended about it? No, doesn't sound like, if she was, then yes, we have a problem. But you're offended about it. She didn't say shit. She didn't even had like, she couldn't even like speak with the conversation how she felt about it. All we had to do was hear from your fucking perspective about it. Bitch, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear your old ass fucking dirty ass vagina about it. Your dirty ass vagina that's decaying and swivel up. And no one doesn't want to eat, and your husband doesn't want to eat that shit anymore because he's already cheated on you, because he already sees your skin sagging down like a fucking witch. That's why when I went to another education school a long time ago, one of the teachers was like, my husband is cheating on me. And I look at her, I'm like, yeah, because you're looking fucking like a witch, bro. You're showing your true colors. Your husband's cheating on you. Good. He finally walked up, and every time he sees it, he sees a fucking woman decaying and dying. Jeez. I will run away too. Reminds me of the Family Guy episode. Hold on. Before we leave, we're gonna have to put that. I'll go back to your video right now, after this, Remy. But after when I'm done with this video. But hold on. Can I even? Peter Griffin talks about Lois. Let's see. Okay, I mean, this is good. I'll put it just because it's good.
You better watch who you're calling a child, Lois. Because if I'm a child, then you know what that makes you? A pedophile. And I'll be damned if I'm going to stand here and be lectured by a pervert.
It's like... oh, shit. Let's see. Okay, hold on. Peter Monologue, right? Okay, here it is. Found it.
Pete, it's just a phase. You've gone through a few yourself, you know.
Yeah, like those 2 weeks you spent narrating your own life?
I walked into the kitchen and sat down at the table. I looked with a grimace at the questionable meal Lois had placed in front of me. Of course, I'd never tell her how disgusted I was with her cooking, but somehow I think she knew. Lois had always been full of energy and life, but lately I had begun to grow more aware of her aging. The bright, exuberant eyes that I had fallen in love with were now beginning to grow dull and listless with the long fatigue of a weary life. I awoke several hours later in a daze.
I'll see you guys later. Be safe. That shit's hilarious. Never change.